Your forms will not work in ClickUp unless you understand automatic routing to different workflows. In this video, I'm going to show you how to prevent yourself from creating 5, 10, 15 plus different forms for all these different workflows or lists you might have, and instead just create one form that consolidates all of the entries and then route the tasks automatically from there. My name is Joe. I've been a ClickUp implementer for over 5 years, and I even used to work at ClickUp, so I know this product better than anyone on the planet. And if at any point during this video you decide this is too complicated, you don't want to do this, and you would rather my team just do it for you, please check us out at smartclick.systems/book. All right, let's get into it. For this example, we're going to build the form. Based on the input of the form, it's going to route that task to a different list. Now, why is it so important that we do this? Oftentimes, when someone submits a form, it doesn't always belong in the list that you submit the form in. Okay, so if you've used ClickUp for any period of time, you know that when you click and you submit a form, that form entry goes directly into the list that you filled the form out on. So this list right here is just called form. If I fill out a form here, it's just going to go into this list and not anywhere else. It will go right there. So that can create a ton of clutter and have you making 5 or 6 different forms for 5 or 6 different lists, or you can consolidate your forms into one list and then route the leads from there. So that's what we're going to be doing here, is correctly routing form entries to the list they belong in. So for this example, we're going to start from scratch. And we'll just make this really simple. Okay, so this is new project request, and maybe this is for a new graphic or a video project. We're gonna have a few questions in here. We'll say task name. We're gonna change this just for the form presentation. We're just gonna change this from task name to name of project. Now be careful, the required field is defaulted to checked. So if you don't want a required form field, make sure it's unchecked. Now these task properties are not custom fields. Okay, this is super important. These task properties are not custom fields. If I were to add another property here and it's not a task property, all of these would create custom fields. These are just task properties though. So we're going to say name of the project. We're going to do description of the project as the task description. Very simply. And then we're going to add a custom field, and we are going to call this project category. And we will have video, and we will have graphic. Give it a little emoji. If you follow me, you know one of my rules is that all custom fields must have an emoji. And we're going to click create. Okay, so now we can go ahead and give it a test project, test description, and then we'll make this a video and we'll click submit. And now that form entry is going to show up here as a task. Just a little bit of housekeeping here. I'm going to get rid of these fields I'm not using, and I'm just going to show that one custom field that I made. Okay. All right. So now we have the scenario where someone submitted a form and now it's just sitting in this list. And now what we want to do is send this task to the appropriate list that it belongs in. So this one is clearly a video task, so it needs to go to the video list. So what we can do is we're just going to set up 2 simple automations here. We're going to do send to video list, and when task is created, so we'll change this from task or subtasks to tasks. When the task is created, then we want to move to list, and the list we want to move to is our videos list. Okay, and we need to make sure we add a modifier here that only when the custom field project category is equal to video should that task be moved to the video projects list. We'll go ahead and click create, and then we will duplicate this, and we'll call this send to graphic list. And we're going to do the same exact thing, except we'll say when project category is equal to graphic and not video, then move to the graphics list. And we will click duplicate. And so now what does this do? Before, we would have had to create 2 forms. We would have had to create a form for the graphic design list, and we would have had to create a form for the video list. But now we have one form with a drop down to select which type of project it is. And now when we submit the form, that task will now get routed into the correct list. This dramatically decreases the amount of forms you have, because a lot of companies have many workflows, many departments. And so you wouldn't want to have 10 different forms that you got to go update 10 different forms whenever you want to change something. It's much easier to have one form in a list and that list's only job is to take in form responses and then route the tasks away from there. So let's give it a test. We'll go into our form here. We'll say Marketing video. We need a video for marketing. Project category, video. Click submit. And now when that task comes in here, it should be automatically routed away into the video list. Okay, so there we see that the task disappeared. And now if we go into video projects, there it is. So now if we go to fill this form, and we'll say graphic project description, new logo for site, project category, if we set it to graphic, we click submit. Now when that one comes in and it's set to graphic, it will automatically route away. Boom, there it goes, and it will appear in our graphic design board. So very easy to set up. You just have to tinker with the ClickUp automations a little bit depending on how many lists you have, how much routing you're doing. But this way you can have one form in a list be responsible for routing lots of different types of form inputs into many different types of lists. So I hope this helps. I hope it reduces the amount of forms you have to make. And please make sure to like and subscribe and throw me a comment of anything else that you're looking to see in ClickUp, or if there's a weird use case or problem that you're trying to solve, I'd be happy to help.